Charles Rice is one of the world's most accomplished virologists. Dr. Rice earned a bachelor's degree in zoology from the University of California, Davis in 1974, and a PhD in biochemistry from Caltech in 1981. During his time at Caltech, which included postdoctoral studies, Dr. Rice worked on developing ways to produce RNA viruses from DNA intermediates, thus providing a way to perform genetic analysis on pathogenic viruses. Similarities and differences uncovered through genetic analysis have helped categorize different families of viruses and led to new medical insights. Dr. Rice received the 2016 Lasker Award for Clinical Medical Research with Ralph Bartenschlager and Michael Sophia. As a researcher prominent in both basic biology and translational medicine, he has reflected on the relationship between the two in a very Caltech manner. You really never know where the transformative discoveries are going to come from. So it's very important to encourage people who have the curiosity and drive to pursue that, to find and pursue curiosity-driven research, even if you can't necessarily see an immediate benefit. Because often some of the great breakthroughs in biomedical discovery, research, and application come from things that are completely unexpected, just from a curious mind given the resources to pursue that curiosity. We honor Dr. Charles Rice in recognition of his contributions to the field of virology and to human health.
So, thank you very much, President Rosenbaum. I'm really deeply appreciative and honored by this award. Like I think everybody here, Caltech has played a huge role in my career and my life. As a Northern Californian with a family history devoid of scientists, my trajectory to Caltech was akin to a random drift. I was unfocused and initially headed for a career as a veterinarian when I encountered a sort of Caltech alum, Dennis Barrett, who was teaching an introductory freshman biology class at UC Davis. This really sort of ignited my interest in biology, and during my undergraduate years I had the good fortune to have a number of research experiences, including time with Dennis studying sea urchin development at Bodega Bay, and a summer in Woods Hole at the marine biology lab there. It sort of seemed like I was on track to do research, but upon graduating from college, I was kind of teetering between going to graduate school and becoming a winemaker. There had been sort of a lasting effect of this UC Davis education on me, and so I ended up applying to one graduate program, Caltech, and then I basically took off to sort of travel for a year in Central and South America. I was in Lima, Peru, and I got a telegram from my father, arrived and said that I'd been accepted by Caltech, and they want to know if you're coming. I said, well, yes, but I don't recall what the form of communication was employed. Probably a payphone or something, and things have really sort of changed. So I sort of beat a retreat back to the US and spent another summer at Woods Hole as kind of a science reentry experience. And I arrived at Caltech in 1975 planning to continue working on sea urchin development with Eric Davidson. There was just one complication. I landed in the Strauss lab where Jim and Ellen, who are here today, were studying animal RNA viruses. That was the end of my career as a developmental biologist and the beginning of my fascination with viruses, which still persists today. At Caltech, I encountered an amazing group of scientists at every level, from the faculty and undergrads to my graduate student peers, who include today's keynote speaker, Richard Scheller, who actually did get to do his PhD work with Eric Davidson, by the way. And in this era, and also today, we had a firm belief in the power of genetics, but recombinant DNA and nucleic acid and protein sequencing technologies were really beginning to revolutionize biological discovery. And I found myself in this incredible atmosphere that included labs run by Norm Davidson, Tom Aniatis, and Lee Hood, and many others. And so, rather than being in and out of graduate school in record time to sort of minimize the Northern Californians' dwell time in Southern California, I actually stayed at Caltech for 10 wonderful years. I often state that I would have been happy to remain here as a graduate student or postdoc forever. That didn't happen, but my time at Caltech was really truly transformative. I had the opportunity to rub shoulders with scientific giants who turned out to be pretty much down-to-earth people who were curious, passionate, and had managed to land in an environment that was pretty much a scientist's equivalent to kids in a candy store. My time in the Strauss lab and the freedom and guidance that Jim and Ellen provided really allowed me to develop as an independent scientist. So the work that we started on Caltech on yellow fever virus, which sort of eventually contributed to this being a member of its own family of viruses, really turned out to be the foundation that prepared me for our entry into the hepatitis C virus field when that virus was identified in 1989. And estimates at the time pegged the prevalence of HCV infection at nearly 200 million people worldwide, with chronic infection associated with increased risk of liver cirrhosis and cancer. And progress studying hepatitis C, which is really not a very good model virus, is painstaking and slow, punctuated by triumphs and setbacks. However, now 30 years later, we have an oral, safe regimens that can cure virus infection in nearly everyone. The small role that I've played in this remarkable success story would not have happened if it were not for Caltech, and the pivotal role this great institution played in my development as a scientist. It's hard for me to imagine, like the other awardees today, that I belong here receiving this recognition, given this sort of amazing collection of Caltech alums. And nonetheless, I am deeply honored by this award and even more grateful for the role that Caltech has played in my life and indirectly in the lives of many, many others. Thank you.